Life is full of challenges, and no one is exempt from facing difficulties. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of struggles, it's the determination to keep going no matter what. Winners understand that obstacles are not stop signs. They are stepping stones to something greater. They know that setbacks are not designed to break them, but to build them into stronger, wiser, and more resilient individuals. The truth is, everyone faces adversity. No matter how talented, skilled, or prepared you are, there will come a time when you feel like everything is working against you. The doors you expected to open may remain shut. The people you trusted may disappoint you. The plans you made may fall apart. But none of these things determine your destiny. Your response does. It is in the face of difficulty that winners are revealed. Because champions are not made in times of comfort. They are shaped in moments of struggle when everything in them wants to quit, but they choose to press forward. There's a difference between a person who gives up and a person who pushes through. The one who gives up looks at the difficulty and decides that it is too much to handle. They allow fear, discouragement, and frustration to take control of their emotions, and eventually they convince themselves that quitting is the best. But the person who pushes through understands that hardship is part of the process. They know that nothing worth having comes easily, and they refuse to let temporary pain dictate their future. Instead of retreating, they rise. Instead of surrendering, they fight. Instead of backing down, they stand firm. One of the most powerful truths about challenges is that they expose the strength that is already inside of you. When everything is going well, it's easy to feel confident and strong. But when you are in the middle of a battle, when nothing seems to be going right, that's when you discover what you are truly made of. The people who inspire us the most are not those who have had an easy life. They are the ones who have been knocked down and refused to stay down. They are the ones who have faced overwhelming odds, but made up their minds that they would not be defeated. Every great success story has moments of struggle. Every champion has faced a time when quitting seemed like the easiest choice. But they didn't let difficulty define them. They made a decision to persevere no matter how hard it got. And that's the key. Winning is not about never falling. It's about getting back up every single time. It's about understanding that failure is not final and obstacles are not permanent. What separates winners from everyone else is that they don't allow setbacks to become excuses. Instead, they use them as fuel to keep going. Many people miss their breakthrough because they give up too soon. They start strong, full of excitement and determination, but when things get tough, they second-guess themselves. They wonder if they are really capable, if they are really called, if they should even bother trying. Doubt creeps in, and before they know it, they've talked themselves out of the very thing they were meant to achieve. But winners think differently. They refuse to let emotions dictate their actions. They may feel tired, discouraged, or even afraid, but they don't let those feelings determine their choices. They remind themselves of why they started in the first place. They fix their focus on the goal ahead and refuse to be distracted by temporary struggles. The truth is, opposition often comes when you are closest to victory. The enemy knows that if he can get you to quit, he can stop you from stepping into your purpose. That's why battles get more intense right before a breakthrough. It's why things seem to get harder when you're on the verge of something great. The pressure increases because the enemy wants to wear you down. He wants you to become so frustrated that you walk away from your destiny. But this is exactly why you must hold on even tighter. This is why you must dig your heels in and say, I will not quit. There are moments in life when you have to decide that giving up is simply not an option. You have to make a firm decision that no matter how difficult things get, you will not back down. It's not about how you feel, it's about what you know. You know that there is something greater on the other side of your struggle. You know that you were created with a purpose and you refuse to let anything stop you from walking in it. You know that perseverance produces strength, and strength produces victory. Your mindset is one of the most powerful tools you have in life. It determines how you respond to challenges, how you face difficulties, and ultimately whether you succeed or fail. A person with a strong and determined mindset can overcome obstacles that seem impossible, while someone with a negative and defeated mindset can be stopped by the smallest setback. It's not just about talent, resources, or opportunities. It's about the way you think. The thoughts you allow to take root in your mind will shape your actions, your emotions, and your future. If you constantly dwell on defeat, you will find yourself living in defeat. But if you train your mind to believe that victory is possible, you will begin to act like a winner, speak like a winner, and eventually live like a winner. Many people fail before they even start because they have already convinced themselves that they are not capable. They tell themselves they aren't smart enough, strong enough, or talented enough. They allow past failures to define their future, believing that because they didn't succeed before, they never will. But winners think differently. They don't allow past mistakes to dictate their destiny. They don't let temporary struggles become permanent labels. Instead, they renew their minds daily, choosing to believe that with perseverance and faith, they can overcome anything. They understand that success begins in their thoughts long before it manifests in their reality. The way you see yourself will determine how far you go in life. If you see yourself as weak, unqualified, or incapable, you will always struggle to move forward. But when you see yourself as strong, capable, and victorious, you will begin to walk in confidence even before you see results. The mind is a battlefield, and every day you are either winning or losing based on what you choose to think about. Thoughts of fear, doubt, and insecurity will keep you stuck, while thoughts of faith, determination, and perseverance will push you forward. What you feed your mind will grow, and what you starve will die. If you constantly feed your mind with negativity, self-doubt, and fear, you will find yourself feeling discouraged and overwhelmed. But when you fill your mind with truth, courage, and faith, you will begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. People who succeed in life are not necessarily the most gifted or the most privileged. They are the ones who have mastered the ability to control their thoughts. They refuse to let negative experiences define them. They choose to believe in possibilities rather than impossibilities. They understand that the greatest battles they will ever fight are not external but internal. If they can win the battle in their mind, they can win in every other area of life. There is a reason why so many people feel stuck. They want to change, but they are unwilling to change the way they think. They hold on to limiting beliefs that keep them from stepping into the fullness of what they were created to do. They replay past failures over and over, allowing fear to paralyze them. But transformation begins with a renewed mind. You cannot expect a different outcome if you keep thinking the same way. You must shift your thinking from doubt to belief, from fear to confidence, from discouragement to hope. When challenges arise, the difference between those who overcome and those who give up is their mindset. Two people can face the same situation, but their responses will be completely different based on how they think. One person will see the challenge as a reason to quit, while the other will see it as an opportunity to grow. One will focus on the problem, while the other will focus on the solution. One will say, I can't do this, while the other will say, this is hard, but I will find a way. The circumstances are the same, but the outcomes are your thoughts shape your words, and your words shape your actions. If you constantly speak words of defeat, you will start to believe them, and they will become your reality. But if you speak words of life, faith, and victory, you will begin to see change. Winners understand that their words have power, so they refuse to speak negatively about themselves or their situations. They declare victory even when they are still in the middle of the battle. They know that what they say today will shape what they experience tomorrow. It takes discipline to develop a winning mindset. It doesn't happen overnight, and it requires intentional effort. You have to train your mind just like an athlete trains their body. You have to be careful about what you allow into your thoughts, because what you think about the most will eventually become your belief system. If you want to walk in victory, you must first believe that victory is possible. You must guard your mind against negativity and surround yourself with voices that encourage and uplift you. You must make a decision every day to focus on possibilities rather than limitations. No matter what you are facing, you have the power to choose how you will respond. You can either let the situation defeat you, or you can rise above it. You can allow fear to control you, or you can take control of your thoughts and walk in confidence. The choice is always yours. Faith and endurance are inseparable. You cannot truly walk in faith without endurance, and you cannot develop endurance without faith. Faith is what gives you the strength to keep going when nothing makes sense, when the road is long, and when obstacles seem impossible to overcome. Endurance is what keeps you standing firm in that faith, refusing to quit even when every part of you feels like giving up. These two work together in a powerful way, shaping people into those who refuse to back down, who press forward no matter what comes against them. Faith is more than just believing when things are easy. It is believing when there is no evidence in front of you that things will work out. It is trusting when your emotions are telling you to give up, when your circumstances scream that all hope is lost. Faith is holding on to a promise, even when it looks like the promise will never come to pass. But faith alone is not enough. You need endurance to stay in faith through the tough seasons, through the disappointments, through the times when you don't see immediate results. Many people start with faith, but they don't have the endurance to sustain it. They believe in the beginning when the vision is fresh, when the excitement is high, and when it feels like everything is possible. But when opposition comes, when delays happen, when prayers seem unanswered, they begin to waver, doubt creeps in, and little by little their faith weakens. They start questioning whether they even heard from God in the first place. They start looking for an easier way out. But faith is not just about believing for a moment. It is about believing for as long as it takes. And that is why endurance is necessary. Endurance means standing strong even when everything in you wants to quit. It means continuing to trust, continuing to believe, continuing to hold on even when you feel exhausted. It is the ability to keep going even when progress is slow, even when the battle is long, even when every part of your mind tells you that nothing is changing. Faith without endurance is temporary, but faith with endurance is unstoppable. Life is full of tests, and faith will always be tested. There will be seasons when nothing seems to be happening. There will be moments when you feel like you are doing everything right, yet you see no results. These are the moments that separate those who truly walk by faith from those who only believe when it is convenient. The truth is, faith that is never tested cannot be trusted. The trials you go through are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to strengthen you. Endurance is developed in the waiting, in the struggle, in the process. Every great person who has ever done something significant had to endure before they saw the reward. Endurance is not just about surviving hardships. It is about growing stronger through them. The challenges you face are not meant to break you. They are meant to refine you. Faith grows deeper when it is stretched. Patience is developed when you are forced to wait. Strength is built when you push through opposition. Endurance is the ability to stand in faith, not just for a day or a week, but for as long as it takes to see the promise fulfilled. Some people give up right before their breakthrough. They let go just when they were on the verge of stepping into what they had been believing for. They quit because the process took longer than expected, because they got weary, because they allowed discouragement to settle in. But those who endure, those who refuse to let go, those who make up their minds that they will not quit, those are the ones who see victory. The most powerful testimonies come from those who endured. They are the ones who stood when everything was telling them to fall. They are the ones who kept praying when it seemed like nothing was happening. They are the ones who refused to let fear, doubt, and discouragement dictate their actions. And in the end, they are the ones who step into the reward of their faith. Faith and endurance go hand in hand. You cannot truly walk in faith if you are not willing to endure. And you cannot develop endurance without faith. The two must work together, strengthening you, shaping you, and preparing you for the promises that lie ahead. Failure is one of the most feared experiences in life, yet it is also one of the most valuable. It has the power to shape, refine, and strengthen those who refuse to let it define them. Many people see failure as the end, as a sign that they were never meant to succeed in the first place. But those who truly understand the journey to success see failure differently. They recognize that failure is not final. It is a setup for a comeback. It is not meant to destroy them, but to prepare them for something greater. Every person who has ever achieved something significant has faced failure at some point. No one reaches success without setbacks, disappointments, or moments of discouragement. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of failure, but the decision to keep going despite it. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process. It is the refining fire that strengthens character, deepens wisdom, and teaches valuable lessons that success alone could never provide. Many people quit too soon because they allow failure to convince them that they are not capable. They take a setback as a permanent defeat rather than a temporary challenge. They allow the fear of failing again to stop them from even trying. But the truth is, failure is never final unless you let it be. It is simply a moment in time, a stepping stone, an opportunity to learn and grow. The most successful people in history have faced repeated failures, yet they refuse to let those failures have the final word. Instead of backing down, they adjusted, learned from their mistakes, and came back stronger. Failure has a way of revealing what needs to change. It exposes weaknesses that need to be strengthened, strategies that need to be adjusted, and mindsets that need to be renewed. It forces people to look deeper, to reevaluate, and to grow in ways they never would have if everything had gone according to plan. Sometimes failure is not a sign that you are on the wrong path, but a sign that there is something you need to learn before moving forward. It is often in the seasons of failure that people gain the wisdom and experience necessary for their greatest breakthroughs. Many of the most inspiring stories of success began with failure. The greatest comebacks are born out of moments when everything seemed lost, when doors were shut, when defeat felt overwhelming. But instead of giving up, those who experience great comebacks make a decision to rise again. They refuse to let failure define them. They refuse to let setbacks stop them. They make up their minds that they will not quit, no matter how difficult the journey may be. A comeback is not just about getting back to where you were before. It is about coming back stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. It is about using failure as fuel, allowing the lessons learned in difficult seasons to propel you forward. It is about refusing to let mistakes hold you back and instead using them as stepping stones towards something even greater. When a person embraces failure as part of the process rather than the end of the road, they position themselves for an even greater victory. The most powerful thing about failure is that it does not have the power to define you unless you give it that power. It is not failure itself that determines your future, but your response to it. If you choose to see it as an ending, it will be an ending. But if you choose to see it as a setup for something greater, it will become the very thing that pushes you toward your greatest comeback. There will always be voices, both internal and external, that try to convince you that failure is the final word. Doubt will whisper that you are not capable. Fear will try to paralyze you, and discouragement will tell you to give up. But none of these voices have the final say. You have the power to decide whether you will let failure break you or build you. You have the choice to either retreat or rise. A comeback is always possible for those who refuse to stay down. It is never too late to begin again, to try again, to believe again. There is no failure too great, no mistake too big, no setback too devastating that it cannot be turned into a testimony of perseverance and victory. Every struggle, every disappointment, and every challenge can be turned around for something greater when you make the decision to keep moving forward. Failure is not the end, it is the beginning of something new, something better, something stronger. Life is full of challenges, but no matter how difficult things get, one truth remains. God did not create you to give up. He did not design you to be defeated, broken, or overwhelmed by life's hardships. You were created with strength, purpose, and resilience. The obstacles you face may be great, but the power within you is greater. The enemy's goal is to make you believe that quitting is the only option, that the struggle is too much, that you are too weak to go on. But that is a lie. You were created to overcome. You were made to rise above every difficulty and keep pressing forward no matter how impossible things may seem. Giving up is never the answer, because every time you persevere, you grow stronger. Every battle you face is an opportunity to develop endurance, faith, and wisdom. The very struggles that make you feel like quitting are the same struggles that are shaping you into the person God created you to be. There is nothing you are facing today that is bigger than the purpose inside of you. The enemy wants you to believe that you are alone, that no one understands, that your situation is hopeless, but God is with you. He sees your pain, your frustration, and your exhaustion, and He is not asking you to fight in your own strength. He is asking you to trust Him, to lean on Him, and to keep going, because there is victory on the other side of your struggle. Too many people quit right before their breakthrough. They get weary in the waiting, discouraged by delays, and overwhelmed by setbacks. They start strong, full of passion and determination, but when things don't happen as quickly as they expected, doubt creeps in. They begin to question whether they heard from God, whether they are capable, whether it is even worth it. But quitting is not the solution. Every time you push through, you get one step closer to what God has promised. The delay is not a denial. The waiting season is not wasted. God is working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see, preparing you, stretching you, and positioning you for what is ahead. The enemy knows that if he can get you to quit, he can stop you from fulfilling your purpose. He will use discouragement, fear, and exhaustion to make you question your calling. He will try to convince you that you don't have what it takes, that your past disqualifies you, that your mistakes are too great. But God's plans for you have not changed. His calling on your life is still in place. He does not change His mind about you just because you have had struggles or setbacks. If you are still breathing, you still have a purpose. There is still something God wants to do through you. Endurance is the key to seeing God's promises come to pass. It is easy to have faith when everything is going well, but true faith is proven in the struggle. True faith holds on even when there is no evidence that things are changing. True faith believes even when circumstances look hopeless. God is not asking you to be perfect. He is asking you to trust Him. He is asking you to keep going even when you don't understand, to keep believing even when you don't see results, to keep standing even when everything in you wants to sit down and give up. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. Every difficulty is a chance to develop the strength you will need for the next level. God does not waste anything. The pain, the struggles, the disappointments, none of it is in vain. He is using it all to shape you, to refine you, and to prepare you for something greater. You may not understand why you are going through what you are facing, but God does. He sees the whole picture. He knows what is ahead. He knows exactly what you need, and He is not going to let you go through anything that does not have a purpose. You were not created to quit. You were not designed to live in defeat, to shrink back in fear, or to let discouragement take over. There is a fire inside of you, a calling on your life, a destiny that is waiting to be fulfilled. The struggles you face today are not meant to stop you. They are meant to strengthen you. They are not meant to break you. They are meant to build you. The enemy wants you to believe that you are too weak to continue. But the truth is, you are stronger than you think. You have more endurance than you realize. You have come too far to turn back now. God has brought you through too much for you to quit now. There is more ahead, more to accomplish, more to become. You are closer to victory than you think. Life is full of obstacles, disappointments, and unexpected challenges, but no matter what comes your way, you must keep pressing forward. Quitting is not an option when you have been created for more, when there is a purpose on your life that has not yet been fulfilled. Every person who has ever achieved anything significant had a moment when they felt like giving up. They face resistance, setbacks, and failures, but the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. They refuse to stop. They make a decision that no matter how hard the journey gets, no matter how many times they stumble, they will not turn back. Pressing forward requires perseverance. It is easy to move forward when things are going smoothly, when doors are opening, when success comes quickly. But real perseverance is developed in the seasons when everything feels like a struggle, when progress is slow, when nothing seems to be changing. Those are the moments that define who you are. They test your character, your faith, and your determination. If you keep pressing forward in those moments, you will eventually step into something greater than you ever imagined. Every great victory comes with great resistance. The enemy does not fight people who are not a threat. If you are facing opposition, it is because there is something valuable inside of you. There is a calling on your life, a destiny that the enemy wants to stop. He will use fear, doubt, and discouragement to try to make you quit. He will whisper lies that tell you it's too hard, that you aren't good enough, that things will never change. But you cannot afford to listen to those lies. You must make up your mind that no matter what comes against you, you will keep moving forward. There will be moments when you feel exhausted, when you wonder if it's even worth it, when everything in you wants to stop. But those are the moments when you must dig deep and remind yourself why you started in the first place. You did not come this far to quit. You did not endure everything you have been through just to stop now. Even when the progress is slow, even when the road is rough, you must keep going. The process may not be easy, but the reward will be worth it. People who keep pressing forward are the ones who see breakthroughs. They are the ones who experience transformation, who step into new opportunities, who see their dreams come to pass. The journey is never without challenges, but every struggle, every hardship, every difficulty is shaping them into the person they need to be for the next level. Strength is developed in the struggle. Endurance is built in the waiting. Faith is strengthened in the seasons when you don't see results but choose to believe anyway. There will always be excuses to quit. There will always be reasons to stop, justifications for why it's too hard, too painful, or too impossible. But excuses will never lead to success. The people who accomplish their dreams, who fulfill their purpose, who walk in victory, are the ones who push past the excuses and keep pressing forward. They refuse to be defined by their past, by their failures, or by their struggles. They refuse to allow setbacks to turn into permanent defeats. Instead, they take each obstacle as a lesson, each challenge as an opportunity to grow, and each difficulty as a chance to become stronger. Pressing forward does not mean you will never feel discouraged. It does not mean you will never have moments of doubt. But it does mean that even in those moments, you will not give in to them. You will not let them dictate your actions. You will not allow fear to stop you. You will acknowledge the difficulty, but you will not let it define you. You will take one step at a time, one day at a time, choosing to believe that better days are ahead. Everything worth having requires perseverance. Every dream, every calling, every breakthrough comes through seasons of struggle. But those who refuse to quit, those who make a decision to keep pressing forward, no matter what, are the ones who see the reward. They are the ones who experience the fullness of what they were created for. They are the ones who rise above the difficulties. and step into something greater than they ever imagined. The path may not always be easy, but the destination is worth every struggle along the way. Through every challenge, every setback, and every moment of doubt, one truth remains: giving up is never the answer. You were not created to quit, to live in defeat, or to settle for less than what you were meant to accomplish. Failure is not final, but rather a stepping stone to something greater. Faith and endurance work together to shape you into a person who refuses to be defined by difficulties. Your mindset determines your victory, and pressing forward, no matter what, positions you for breakthroughs that you never thought possible. The road may not always be easy, but each step you take brings you closer to the fulfillment of your purpose. Keep believing, keep enduring, and keep moving forward, because the best is yet to come.